Hey guys, me again. I'm going to read to you today about a really awesome woman, pioneer, aviatrix extraordinaire, Amelia Earhart. That's why I got this on. I'm trying to channel my Amelia Earhart, but not get lost. All right. This book is by Grace Hanson, and it's called Amelia Earhart, Aviation Pioneer. Okay. We're celebrating strong, independent women this month. I thought this would be a good book. It's a short book. It won't take you long to listen to it. Okay? Amelia Earhart. We have lots of books in the library about Amelia Earhart. This is just a short, easy one, quick read. Okay? Amelia Earhart, her early life started in Kansas. Amelia Mary Earhart was born on July 24th, 1897. She was born in Atchison, Kansas. Okay. There's Kansas. Okay. See Kansas? Okay. And we're over here. So she wasn't born too far from Indiana, but far enough you wouldn't want to walk there. Okay. There's Amelia. It's a small child, small girl, and there I bet is graduation. I don't know if that's high school or college. Probably high school. Pretty cool, huh? Frank Hawks was a famous aviator. In 1920, he took Amelia on her first plane ride, and she loved it. Have any of you ever been on a plane? I have. It's my favorite way to travel. I love to fly on planes. And when I was a little kid in Girl Scouts, we took a field trip to the Indianapolis airport. And back in those days, you could actually, they didn't have security like they do now. And we actually got to go down the jetway and actually sit inside an empty plane and got to tour the cockpit and got to meet the flight crew. It was a really cool trip. And I still love to go to the airport and just watch the planes take off and land. When my husband and kids and I drive by the airport, any airport, I always watch the planes in the sky because it fascinates me how they can stay up in the air the way they do, as big as they are. So I love to watch the planes land. I like to think about where people are going and where they've been and who they've seen and did they have a good time. All kinds of stuff you can imagine. Okay. Up and away. Amelia's interest in flying grew, just like she did. She took flying lessons. She wanted to learn something, so she took lessons. She even bought a plane, and she named it the Canary. I wonder why she named it the Canary. Do you know what color canaries are? They're yellow. And her plane was bright yellow. You can't see it in this picture. Her plane was bright yellow, so she called it the Canary. I bet it was the color of the pages, the color of the yellow on this page too. In 1928, Amelia was invited on a flight. The flight crossed the Atlantic. She was the first woman to do this. I wonder if she was scared to fly in a plane across the Atlantic Ocean. Nobody had ever done that. Well, no woman had ever done that. I bet she was scared a little bit, but you know what? She didn't let that fear stop her. Sometimes fear is good. Fear is that little voice inside of us that says, this is not a good idea. You probably shouldn't do this. But sometimes the what ifs, the fears, we can't listen to them. We have to take a step and be bold. The flight made Amelia famous, but she was only a passenger. You know what that word means, passenger? I bet you're a passenger a lot, unless you're a really little, small 16-year-old who can drive a car. Passenger means someone who rides along. You can be a passenger on a motorcycle, passenger in a plane, passenger in a car. Anytime you're riding with someone or riding along with someone, you're a passenger. But she wanted to make the trip on her own. So on May 20th, 1932, she did. How about that? She set a goal. She worked hard. She learned all kinds of things from all kinds of people. And then she did it on her own. She didn't let anybody tell her that she couldn't do it. She believed in herself. Next, Amelia flew across the Pacific Ocean. Now she was ready for a greater challenge. What's a challenge for you? Have you conquered it? I bet you can. I believe in you. But more importantly, you need to believe in yourself. The challenge is just simply another word for you have to try harder. It's something new, and you have to try. She wanted to fly around the world. The flight would start in California. My, oh my, that would be a challenge. Aviation, or airplanes, were so new. And to fly around the world, she was really brave. Amelia and navigator Fred Noonan took off from Miami, Florida on June 1st, 1937. Amelia completed about 22,000 miles, 35,400 kilometers of her trip. She had about 7,000 miles, or 11,300 kilometers to go. Okay. A navigator is just someone who flies along or goes along and helps you figure out where you're going, where you need to go, where you need to turn. At my house, I'm the navigator in our car. When we go somewhere new, it's my responsibility to tell my husband, okay, turn here. All right, in 5 miles, you're going to turn here. You're going to get on this exit. It's kind of like GPS. It is GPS because GPS is a navigation system. But this was way before GPS. Okay. And my navigator in my van, my GPS, we call her Louise. That way when we get lost, we can say, geez, Louise, we're lost. Where are we? Uh-oh. Something bad happened. On July 2nd, the U.S. Coast Guard waited near a small island in the Pacific. Amelia was supposed to refuel there, and she never made it. Amelia and her plane have never been found. Okay. Now, if you'll look at this map, see if we can get it here for you. She started here, and she flew east across the United States. See, here's Miami, down here in Miami. She flew, and then she flew around the world, and she came across Africa, or, and over Europe, and down. Okay. But the broken line, is where she went missing. She didn't make it. Okay. Which is kind of sad. She almost did. She only had 7,000 more miles to go. The legacy that Amelia Earhart left was she was a great aviator. She was one of the first women to fly. She dared to do what no one had done before. Just because no one has ever done it before doesn't mean it can't be done. She proved that. Because look, even though she didn't make it around the world, we can do that now. No problem. We can send people into space. We can send weather balloons into space. We can do all kinds of things now because of the things that she taught us. Okay? All right. Now, one of the reasons that this caught my attention is because the book says that her body and her plane have never been found, which is true. Her plane has never been found. But on an island, it was called Nikomororo, or Gardner Island. That's an easier way to say it, which is part of the Phoenix Islands in Kiribati in the Western Pacific Ocean. They found bones and in the 1940s. And in the 1940s, they didn't have technology that would that could identify the bones like we do now. And now, because of forensic anthropology, those are two big words, they were able to identify the bones as hers. So she was found. She has been located. This just happened the first part of March, I think. I think the article I read was March 9th. So just recently she's been found. Another interesting thing that I found when I was looking up Amelia Earhart was that she was a boilermaker. Boiler up, hammer down. Okay. And she was a consultant at Purdue. So she was pretty awesome. I hope you enjoyed our story. I'll be back later with some more.